Not that you could do either one. But I'm already here, and I just love how it rocking sets up petrissage. Then I would go into a little bit more of the detailed petrissage, finding out where that hand is tight, where the work could be needed. Okay?
Muscle strip or thumb over thumb between metacarpals from fingers to above wrist joint.
So right from the beginning of the knuckles, the intermediate knuckles, inside of the metacarpals. And you usually know how tender they are or how much they need it by how much rocking you can feel. How much those metacarpals are moving against each other. Good, huh?
Very good.
And this is the good one. Go ahead.
Milk each finger and thumb.
So milk is different than what we do on the other day. That's just like that. Pulling out.
Would you do this on someone who has arthritis?
This you could do lightly on someone. Very lightly. Okay.
Position forearm perpendicular to the table with the wrist in extension. Lace fingers. And with
Now with thumb over thumb, thenar eminence from the crease here all the way up to bottom of the first knuckle. Work over to the second knuckle. Good?
Good.
Third knuckle. In between. Fourth. If I have the range in my thumb to do this without hurting it, I'll keep it. If not, I might just do one thumb, but sometimes it gets farther away and this inferior thumb doesn't do as good a job with the other one, or vice versa. So then you might need to go like that, but most people will be able to continue to do this. And then I go down. So I've made this big U. Started here. Boom, 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 boom. Now I'm going to go down and come back to the start. And that's a really good range I found. And here's one of those 10 intangibles. The wrist crease. The wrist crease is money. All those little itty bitty attachments that are there, think about those getting passed by 50 other massage therapists, but you're the one that gets them. I'm coming back to you. Okay?
bring forearm back to neutral, apply gentle traction and shaking.
Okay.
Effleurage full arm to shoulder, then down and out with the fingers 1 to 3 times. Redrape down.
So, especially with a woman, I wouldn't pick anything up. I would slip the arm underneath, and then pull straight out and up that way. Then I've got that, and then I would grab, if I have this like little tab here, this little area to pull, I'll use that. But say I don't have that, I would never grab here. I would pull from down here for obvious reasons. And then tuck, go to the other side. That simple. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so during the back routine, you'll remember that at one point the shoulder's up here and you do this little raking down the subscap, right? Okay? So here's how we integrate an arm routine from the back in. And I have been doing this now for 2.5 years, and I don't actually work the front of the arm anymore. So I don't work it from the anterior position. I found that this is actually, I can get a full body in an hour, and I like that. I'm not rushing, and it feels good if I don't do the arm anteriorly. I also don't do it because it's more draping than I really want to deal with. I don't want to have to deal with this like careful draping. It takes time and it takes energy, and there's room for error there, and I don't like to work with that unless I absolutely have to. So I've modified it and made it a way to do it during the back routine before I move to the legs. This is how I do it. So I've already got my oil on, for the most part, on the arms. So I'll have just finished this move here, right? When I've done that, I'll come around the other side of the table and I'll pick the arm up and bring it to this position. I'll then take my fingertips on the anterior deltoid and sometimes even under the clavicle, but not usually, because I don't like how this feels, like this whole energy of grabbing in the front. So I just take the clavicle and I actually twist back and give a little backward traction and strip down to the elbow. How's the pressure unders? A little much?
It was a little much on the thumb on the way down, but otherwise it's great.
Okay. So I'm actually, the fibers of this deltoid on both sides are actually going down to here. So what I'm doing is actually manipulating those fibers, so if any of them are crossed, hopefully when I get done, more of them will be straight, side by side, like they're supposed to be, parallel. And I'm just going strip by strip. Now I'm on the medial delt, posterior delt, and then I'll switch to 2 thumbs, twisting down, which is my lead in. So that's my last deltoid pass as I twist. That's my lead in to triceps. So at this point, I grasp, put a little bit more pressure on the fingers and the thumbs, and I go into this tricep piece. My thumb goes on the medial side, so I pick up that tricep head here as it goes into the olecranon. And that's pretty tender in most people, but I wouldn't always work it hard. I'm doing it for the purpose right now that I think it's going to help him a lot.
Thank you.
But you could do this. You could do this lighter for sure. By absolutely anything that I do, you could do lighter. I just tend to do it more therapeutically because it's just where my heart lies. So I just kind of petrissage / effleurage / muscle strip the tricep down to the olecranon. And then what I do is kind of a hybrid move that you could relate to the other day. You could also relate it to Wednesday and call it a long effleurage. All I'm going to do is grab the arm like this and sit down. And that gets the forearm, anterior and posterior. Then I pull the elbow up like this, or the arm up like this. Make sure the elbow is bent. Then I immediately go to palm over palm, forearm. Too much?
No. Good.
Forearm. Or I'll go fist. Or I'll go thumb over thumb muscle strip. Or all three. And I'll just do from lateral or from medial to lateral. Making sure that you get all of those. And then if I wanted to get the front, I could do that same thing by either picking up here and just raking my fingers around the front, or if you're in this position, you could kneel down and get to the front of the arm here. But I found that I like to actually reach around the front and pull up here. And that gets coracobrachialis pretty good. Or brachioradialis. So now I've got the whole of the arm. Now I'm going to turn and face the feet, and at this position, apply thumb over thumb to the hand.
You get more downward pressure this way.
Absolutely. And I do the same thing I just did with the other one. And I get two thumbs that can work instead of one. Well, one dominant and one subdominant. Now they're both pretty darn dominant in what they're doing. And I do, again. And then with the fingers, I would just take them like that and milk them, or bring them like this and just curl out by putting my pinky down. And then you get your traction and shake. And now I've done pretty much the same thing, but I got to do it with the back routine. So when I do it, I actually have done the right side of the left side of the back, did that move, and then I've ended with the back and started the arm. Then I go back and finish with the trap. Then I go over to the other side, back arm, finish with the trap, redrape, arms are done. Now I have the back of the legs, do the front of the legs, and then I go to the head.